Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Home of the upset. We got the week 6 upsets coming in hot. Let's get to the first game. AFC South. We got the Jacksonville Jags at the Indianapolis Colts. Jags are plus 2.5. I got the Jags to win in the cover. I like this in yesterday's video, and I'm not about to budge. When I'm looking at the Colts, I see a wounded animal. Sometimes they are the most dangerous animals. If you want to push a raccoon up against the wall and he's already wounded, he's not going to go down without a fight. But this is Matt Ryan. I don't know how much you're going to get out of him. I don't know how much you're going to get out of his targets outside of Pittman. I'm just not seeing it. We're even seeing this vaunted Colts O-line, big-ass contracts, all pros. They're not even winning battles. How's Matt Ryan going to start winning battles? And then I'm looking at this Colts injury report. You got Jonathan Taylor. I assume he's going to play. Shaq Leonard I don't know if Shaq Leonard is even a viable option, and I've read comment week in and week out saying, Lawson, Shaq's coming back. Oh, Lawson, don't bet against the Colts. Shaq's coming back. No, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. I don't think he even comes back this game. And then let's talk about the Jags. Listen, our guy Trevor Lawrence has been absolutely terrible the last 2 weeks. That's why the Jags haven't looked as good. I'm not saying he's going to come out and slang it for like 330 and he's going to have some sort of rejuvenation. But I think he keeps the turnovers down, and I think the Jags are on this rock better. Slowly and surely, this Jags running game is coming together. James Robinson and Etienne is a great 1-2 punch. I really think they can do some things. And listen, Kirk has been a good addition to this Jags receiving core, and I think people are overrating the Colts defense a bit much after that Thursday night game against Russell America Wilson. I think that was more about the Broncos than it was the Colts defense. And last thing, this Jags defense has dogs. Their defensive line with Walker, with Josh Allen, it's about as nasty as it gets in this league. They're a little bit, how can I say, light in the middle, but I think the Jags linebackers will make plays. Jags winning the cover in Indianapolis. Next game, we got the Dallas Cowboys, them boys, at the Philadelphia Eagles. Cowboys are plus 6. I'm surprised we saw this shoot up. I'm surprised. It started at plus 4.5, plus 5. We saw this shoot up to plus 6. And listen, I got the Cowboys to lose by a field goal here, but I would not be shocked if they found a way to win this game. And there's no bigger Eagles mark than me. I know, like, the fans are going to obviously say Eagles by 30, but there's not a bigger one on the internet than me. And I think the Eagles squeal this out with a field goal, and I think Cowboys will have chances to win this game in the fourth quarter. I don't think this is a cakewalk for the Eagles. I understand the strength of the Cowboys is that defensive line. Both of the big, Lawrence, Parsons, they're on the injury report, but they will play. No one stay panicked with that. But the way to control a dynamic defensive line is to have an offensive line like the Philadelphia Eagles. I completely understand those fundamentals. I completely understand that this Eagles run game, even though they haven't been called upon by Sirianni, could really limit this Cowboys defense. But I'm just telling you something right now. This Cowboys team makes big plays at big times, and they make games ugly. They make games in the early 90s, late 80s football very, very physical, and they seem to win the turnover battle every single week. Eagles had a scare against the Jags, not because the Jags were better than them, but because they lost the turnover battle in the first half. I think Eagles lose this turnover battle, and this game is a coin flip. It isn't the cakewalk that the media is making it out to be, even though the Eagles are a damn good team and maybe the most balanced team in this league. I like the Cowboys. I think the Eagles are on upset alert. Next game, another team that's on upset alert. My Minnesota Vikings at the Miami Dolphins. Vikings are -3.5. On some books, they pushed up to -4. Listen, I need to add a little bit of cold water to everyone getting excited about the Vikings. How many of you guys watched that game against the Bears last Sunday? If you watched that, you would understand why I'm concerned about my Minnesota Vikings in this game. Now, Ted, it's looking like Bridgewater won't play. It's looking like Tua won't play. So it's going to be Skylar Thompson. So I could see this shoot up even more, maybe to +5, +6 for the Dolphins. But for me, man, Minnesota needs to be more consistent. And if this Dolphins defense comes out the fight, it's not going to be an easy day at the office for my Vikings. And that's why I don't think it's a money pick in my Vikings' favor. And I would not bet the Vikings. They're going down to Miami. The Vikings never have played good on the road in situations like this. And the thing that disappointed me most last week about the Dolphins wasn't the offense, because they had bad luck, injury to Teddy on the first play. But the thing that disappointed me most was the defense, the front seven. Jets were able to run it against them. I don't think the Vikings are going to get Dalvin Cook going like he got going against the Bears. So when you're talking Kirk Cousins, when you're talking tight man to coverage, when you're talking Xavier Howard coming back, there could be turnovers here, and I don't think this is easy, and I would not be shocked if the Dolphins won this damn game. Home field advantage, and really the only thing pointing in the Vikings' favor for this game is Skylar Thompson, and he was absolute garbage. But you always see that, when the third stringer comes off the bench, you can't really judge them fairly, and that's not really a good way to judge them. Let him get a week of practice. Let's see what Mike McDaniel does. And listen, Mike is up against the damn wall here. After that Jets L, people aren't accepting it, and Miami fans are starting to get on him. I think we see a response from the Dolphins. I think this game turns into more of a bar fight than a football game. I think it's extremely physical, and I want to see what the Dolphins do. Next game, we got the New York Jets at the Green Bay Packers. Jets are +7. Listen, I just want to sway people away from this one. I sometimes use the upset video for this, and I will use this part of the upset video to do just that. Do not take the Jets. I saw a lot of comments Tuesday, saw a lot of comments Wednesday morning. Jets money line, put $1,000 on the Jets to cover. I would not go that way. I understand your qualms about the Packers. The way they melted down against the Giants was absolutely pathetic, and the Giants were on last week's video, if I remember correctly. But with that being said, there's going to be a response from these Packers, and I don't like their defensive scheme. I think their problem on defense is more about scheme than personnel. Their personnel is nasty. But I don't think the Jets are going to run it like they did last week. And the Jets aren't going to be facing a third-string quarterback. Aaron the Game Rodgers is walking onto that field, and it won't be in London. It's going to be in Lambeau Field, and I think you see the Packers come in and absolutely kick their ass and send the Jets back down to earth. And then, listen, I'm not excited about this Jets defense like I told you. I'm excited about Sauce Gardner, and he played well against the Dolphins. But other than that, I'm not excited about him. I think you can run it on him, and I think you're going to see a lot of Aaron Jones this week. Back to Aaron Jones player props for over. Packers run the rock. Packers win and cover this damn game. I just needed to put that out there. I don't want anyone to fall into some of this Jets hype and then get zapped. Last game, we got the Tampa Bay Bucs at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bucs are -8. Listen, I understand this is crazy. But I think the Bucs have to be on upset watch here. I really do. And as bad as the Steelers played last week, they're not going to get worse than last week. And The Bucs are lacking explosion. I just feel like everything's underneath. Everything's a dump off to Leonard Fournette. Yes, Brady's still making 6-7 amazing throws a game, but something's rotten with the Bucs, man. Todd Bowles missing a day of practice last week. Tom Brady with that 2 weeks during training camp. Just something seems off here. And this is more about the Bucs than it is about the Steelers. Like, if you're taking the Bucs to cover this game, I would be very, very cautious with it. They're up 21-0 to Atlanta, and Atlanta just runs the ball the whole fourth quarter, and then Atlanta comes out with a cover. I mean, if Brady didn't get that lucky flag on Grady Jarrett, who the hell knows what would happen? And I do think Steelers playing at home at the old Heinz Field, I do think they will play with more verve. I do think they will play with more intensity. And I do think this Pickett to Perkins combination will come to fruition. And this Bucs defense, the last 2 weeks, it's been inexcusable from them. They're not playing full games. They're not being consistent. So I'm not like beating my chest and saying Steelers money line. But damn, I got the Bucs on upset watch. I would not. There's always one extremely shocking upset of a week, and everyone wants to make it Panthers at Rams. I'm not going there. If there's a shocking upset, it will be the Bucs. It won't be the Packers or the Rams. Hit the like button. Share the videos. The best gambling show on the internet. The home of the money pick.
Step by step, by step by step.